Hello, thanks for joining me. My name's Ben Drain, and I would like to share with you a new tabletop game I made that I'm pretty excited about. It's called Maleficium, and there's lots of neat aspects to the game. There are a ton of magi to play as, all with unique special abilities. There are 6 schools of magic to specialize in, each of which has its own special flavors. There are heaps of monsters to throw at your enemies, and grand works to complete, all while trying to stay as sane as you can. The scoring mechanic of the game is to accrue as few insanities as possible. The insanities come in 4 flavors: delirium, dementia, psychosis, and paranoia. There is also a catch-up mechanic of a set collection subgame where, if you get loaded up with insanities early, you can listen to what the secret voices in your head are telling you, and if you complete the right set of cards, you can pick from a variety of special abilities. But what I'm most excited about is the way spellcasting works in the game. You have a hand of 7 spell cards, which are double-sided. In most games, you have a card that represents a spell, and you play it. In Maleficium, you have a vocabulary of spell ingredients that you combine to do what you like, and it's called a spell stream. For example, from the cards we were dealt, we can make you gain a fire and 2 earth elements. We know the spell stream is legal because it makes sense, but we can also match up the runes on the side of the cards. Another spell stream we could make from what we were dealt is all other players give you 1 monster. Let's make that 3 monsters. Again, we can match up the runes and see that our spell stream is working correctly. There is a balance built into the mechanics of spellcasting, where big, aggressive, or selfish spells are more likely to drive you insane, and selfless or altruistic spells are more likely to counteract that. This works through the sum of the magnitude and the product of the polarity of the spell cards you use. For example, with our first spell stream, we add up the magnitude and then we look at the polarity. And note if there are an odd amount of minus signs present, or no minus signs, or an even amount. On the character cards, there is a sanity track that runs around the outside of the card. If our spell stream has an odd amount of minus signs, we move our marker on the track counterclockwise. If there are no minus signs, or an even amount, we move our marker clockwise. Each round, you play a different incantation card. This provides you with a base level of sanity. At the end of the round, if you exceed your level of sanity with the effects of your spellcasting, then you start to lose your mental health, and you may go increasingly insane. With our second spell stream example, we can see that again we were aggressive or selfish in our spellcasting, and so we have an even amount of minus signs, which moves our sanity marker clockwise. In contrast, if we were to cast all players gain 6 gold, we can see we have an odd number of minus signs, and so we would move our sanity marker counterclockwise, perhaps mitigating some of the risk of other aggressive spells we had cast this round. And being altruistic is a necessary part of the game, as spell streams can make big swings, but then there's a large cost to offset. For example, you could cast you take from 2 players of your choice 1 monster, and all other players turn 3 cards into 1 insanity. Make that 3 insanities, which is a giant hammer to bring down. But with a high cost and magnitude, it would take a toll on your sanity, and you would probably want to offset that. Well, that's not a complete primer on spellcasting in Maleficium, but I think you get the sense of it. I'm pretty excited about the game. Feel free to check it out on the link in the description. Thanks a lot.